K Nation. Sponsored by K-State Superstore and 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline.
Tonight on K Nation, we're catching up with football this spring. KU offensive lineman Earl Bostick Jr. tells us how he is preparing for the NFL draft in an exclusive one-on-one interview.
Plus, we caught up with ESPN college basketball analyst Brian Burton, who knows most of the K-State men's basketball staff personally, and he tells us why and how that program has blossomed with Tang and his co-workers leading the program.
And Bill Self had his first press conference since his hospitalization in early March, how missing March Madness has altered his career plans. And that's where we're going to start tonight. Welcome to K Nation. I'm Lainey Gerber.
And I'm Glenn Kinley. No need to panic, Jayhawk fans. We got some pretty good news out of Lawrence this week. Big news.
And some pretty good outfits. Look at
yeah, you like it? The Easter Sunday fit. Happy Easter.
Yeah. Well, despite some rumors that Bill Self may be retiring, he says he is 100% sure he will be coaching the Jayhawks next year.
Oh, yeah. You love to see that. No hanging up the whistle or the clipboard just yet. Self did open up about his health, though, and he was pretty honest with us, saying in order to keep doing his job and do it well, he's got to take his doctor's orders seriously. He says it's a message he's been getting for a while now, but that health scare at maybe the worst time of year for a college basketball coach might have served as a wake-up call for the Hall of Fame coach.
For me to be as effective doing that, I think I have to, wake up a little bit and maybe do some things from a lifestyle standpoint, a personal habit standpoint, that I've been very, very, very inconsistent with my entire adult life.
And Self also did say he was upset to miss those last games of the season, of course, but it was necessary for his health. And he even said, as hard as it was, he thinks the doctors made the right call.
Yeah, he gave fans credit, too. He said watching from TV is hard.
The support is that he got from Jayhawk fans was pretty cool, too.
Yeah. At K-State, the Cats are remembering just how special this season was. We know the storyline. 2 players returning and picked last to finish in the conference. Next thing you know, there's 2 All-Americans and an Elite 8 run. But for Jerome Tang, he gets sentimental about how far the program has come from when he first took over.
I'm going to remember that first team meeting in June for summer school when there were only 7 guys in the locker room, which was more than 2, but only 7. And, thinking at the time, man, I don't know how many wins we have sitting here. I'll remember first practice when everybody was there and how much different it felt.
Man, it just makes you tear up thinking about it. Well, we're excited to have him back for sure, and hopefully for quite a while.
Yeah, with those 2 guys at the helm of both those programs, I mean, it's an exciting time for basketball in the Sunflower State.
Oh, yeah. Well, as much as we are sad that basketball is over, we are pretty excited to catch some rays and be in the outfield at a baseball or softball game. At the KU OSU softball series this past weekend, the weather was amazing.
Yeah, we had a really good weekend of weather. Hopefully it stays that way. We're going to get out to more and more baseball and softball games in the near future, and the Jayhawks baseball had a wild game against Missouri State.
Yeah.
Get the Hawks win in a walk-off fashion on a strikeout, wild pitch, drop third strike in extra innings. I hope you got all that. It was nuts. A little luck maybe, but the KU also very good, and they're playing really well right now. So Kansas with one heck of a road trip this weekend. The Jayhawks took the first 2 games at number 19 West Virginia. That's a ranked road Big 12 series win for KU. That's not easy to do for any team, especially against West Virginia, who's really solid and had a little bit home field advantage. Coach Fitz has his guys rolling now. 500 record at 15-15, but 5-4 in the conference with 2 ranked series. And the Jayhawks have won 7 of their last 8. Not bad.
No, they're all in good moods in Lawrence.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
K-State baseball was off and on this week. The Cats lost to old Big 12 rival Nebraska at home. Then they go down south to number 21 Texas. Cats give up 5 runs in the 8th in game 1 and fall 6-5.
And Jerome Tang was there.
Jerome Tang was there.
Not in Austin, but rather in the Open.
Yeah. K-State wins game 2, then falls in game 3, 8-2. It's sitting at 20-14, 6-6 in the Big 12. The Cats host Creighton tomorrow, and then we've got a big one next weekend. The Sunflower Showdown. The Cats get to travel to Hogland Ballpark for that one.
All right, Dan Fitzgerald's first Sunflower Showdown.
Yeah.
Kansas softball played well, but it's tough to beat the number 2 team in the country. That's all there is to it. Big 12 softball is nuts right now. Jayhawks swept by Oklahoma State at home, making their record 19-17. They're 1-5 in the conference, which doesn't look great on paper, but they've shown some promise. They hang with a team as good as Oklahoma State. The Cowgirls are 35-3 on the year, and the Jayhawks put up a fight. KU travels to number 10 Texas next weekend. That'll make it back-to-back-to-back series against ranked opponents. Big 12 softball, not to be messed with.
No, I don't know how they do it.
They're insane, yeah. Well, the teams surrounding us are valuable to their universities, and athletic success has a huge impact on enrollment and revenue for those schools.
Yeah, and social media teams post great content for fans, but they also drive these factors. K-State's social team has had a super successful season with the men's basketball team, and they explain how clicks and views translate to a tangible impact on the university.
Every day was something new. I mean, from last summer where we didn't know who was on our team, we were doing recruiting shoots left and right till Madison Square Garden. I mean, didn't think we'd end up at this point, but I mean, I'm so excited we did.
When K-State was left with an unfamiliar men's basketball team, the university needed to change that quickly if it wanted fans at games.
Everyone's story is important to tell, and it's really cool that we have the opportunity and the platform to tell these guys' stories.
Social media is the quickest way to build a brand that anyone in the world can see. And if you do it right, people near and far become familiar with that brand.
We couldn't stress, enough, getting the fans to know the coaching staff, getting the fans to know the new players. Nobody really knew who anybody was, so it was our job to make sure, by the time they took the court in November, that everybody kind of knew who those players were.
Everyone here in Kansas and everyone that goes to K-State knows our story, kind of like they're just the blue collar people, and it's like they're passionate about K-State, but no one from the outside world knows what it is. So that's kind of our job to help tell the story.
All the photos, videos, and graphics you see on social media not only help fans feel like they're part of the team, but it does the same for recruits. Plus, it boosts the university's national brand, and that leads to ticket sales. In just 1 week at Madison Square Garden, K-State social media generated a $65 million media value with 2.2 billion views, all on the men's basketball team.
Maybe it's a kid in New York City that's never heard of Kansas State, so then it's generating, hey, I might want to come to Kansas State, I might want to buy a Marquise jersey, or I want to just get a shirt for Christmas.
The impact social media has on a university isn't just immediate.
K-State's a family, and we are purple through and through all of these things. That's things that you display on social media, but also showing like what it means to be a student athlete at K-State.
All right, and Cameron, who we saw on there, is a good friend of mine. I just want to say, if people say he's good at his job, he's not very good.
No, he's a video guy.
Yeah, he just runs around with the camera. Everybody could do that. All right, more to come on K-Nation. I'm just kidding, Cameron. Earl Bostic Jr. joins the show when we take a look at the new KU football squad in their spring game.
But first, records continue to be broken in Lawrence. How one KU track runner broke his personal record and a years-old university record. That's up next.
Call us biased, but if your happy place doesn't have a diner-style burger with 2 all-beef patties, double the cheese, and a brioche bun, it's probably not as happy as it could be. Supersonic Double-Stack Cheeseburger. Sonic.
Welcome to Jungle House, a shop for plant people. The Jungle House offers a range of in-store and at-home services to help your plants thrive. Not a green thumb? Don't sweat it. We're here to help. Jungle House, 924 Delaware Street, Lawrence.
Mental health is about emotional health and brain health.
Healthy children and families, and a healthy Kansas.
Go to acmhck.org to find your local community mental health center.
You've got a way with words. Use them to lead people to common ground. We give you every possible chance to show you care. Explore more than 200 careers at goarmy.com.
Fidelity State Bank and Trust, Topeka, empowering customers since 1922.
Our size is a real benefit to us. We're a big enough bank to take care of large customers, but we're still a small local bank, and that makes us flexible to be able to put loans together for folks quickly and be responsive to their needs.
Fidelity Bank, we do business right here at home. Under $3 crabs have arrived at Sonic. All you need is a crisp $3 bill, but those don't exist, so we made our own Sonic under $3 crabs.
Sonic.
Well, outdoor track season is heating up, and so is Chandler Gibbons.
Yeah, he's on fire. The Jayhawk distance runner recently shattered a school record, and get this, not just any school record, but Jim Ryan's 5K record.
That's not an easy one to break.
Oh, yeah.
Gibbons ran a 31-second personal best, 13:28 in the 5K last weekend, and that breaks Ryan's school record by 19 seconds.
Wow.
So who told Chandler he broke the record? Well, no one had to. He was the one who had been chasing that record, somewhat literally, for years now.
Really, any of the records that I've set my eyes on, like I kind of have it ingrained. So heading into it, I was aware of it, and then after the race, it was kind of a breath of relief that I'd actually gotten it.
The honor in breaking Jim Ryan's record was huge, because that exemplifies how really good Jim Ryan was, because he was well ahead of his time. But for Chandler to break the record is just really, really good for Kansas track and field.
All right, and get you a man that can do both. Gibbons went shorter distance. That was yesterday, and he PR'd again in the 1500 with a new meet record at their meet down at LSU, running 3:48. Laney, people forget I ran a 4:35 mile in high school. Just got to throw that out there.
Okay, yeah, you're obviously faster.
Not as good as Chandler, but if they have an extra spot next year for like a walk-on.
Okay, you have your eligibility. That's all we're saying.
5th year, COVID year.
There's some pretty fast guys on the football team, too. KU wrapped up its spring practice schedule this weekend with a spring showcase for the fans.
A culmination, of course, of everything that the team worked on for 15 spring practices. A lot of starters didn't play too much. They're getting everybody in. They got all sorts of different jerseys out there, though. Coaches use the spring game as a big evaluation day. They can put players in some different scenarios, see how they react. And Lance Leipold says he feels better about this team than he did about last year's team at this time about a year ago.
This is by far the most physical 15 practices really, combined, I guess, that I've ever, kind of been through. We challenged them that way, and not just in live scrimmages, but in other drills and things. And I really think they embraced that, and they understood that. And on both sides of the ball, I think we made a lot of progress.
Now the team gets a break from organized practices until fall camp. Tomorrow they'll move all of their stuff into the visitors' locker room while their locker room gets redone. So new team, new locker room, new year.
And all sorts of jerseys. They got everything out there.
Yeah. Well, no spring game for K-State yet, but coaches made sure to let us know that the Wildcats have been working. The return of Daniel Green to the linebacker room was a pleasant surprise for the K-State staff, but he's just one piece of a very strong linebacker room. We knew K-State's defense was good last year, but defensive coordinator Joe Klanderman had no hesitation saying this is his best linebacker room since arriving in Manhattan.
Definitely from an experience standpoint, from a knowledge of scheme standpoint, and I dare say from a leadership standpoint also. I mean, those guys are just incredible. When you talk about the Austin Moores, the Daniel Greens, but then you take some of these young guys into the mix too that have just incredible ability. Really good source of strength for our defense right now.
There you go. Last season, the Cats ended up with 6 all-conference defenders. That was, of course, a big reason why K-State won the Big 12 title. That's where we placed Felix, but they got some good linebackers.
Oh, yeah. For some players, the next step in their career is less than 3 weeks away. After the break, Earl Bostic shares his expectations for this year's NFL Draft in a K-Nation exclusive. Stick around.
Jefferson's is the perfect spot to watch the game. Come try our new Loaded Macs, or pull up a seat at the bar and match our cold draft beer with our new Mac Burger. Find us at 29th and Wanamaker in Topeka or online at jeffersons.com.
If you're looking to improve your days, focus on your nights. At the Love My Lebeda mattress sale, flippable pillow plush queen sets start at only $4.99. You'll love our mattress sets with cool gel memory foam now from $5.99 with free delivery or a free bed frame. Experience Talalay Latex for amazing tension relief and muscle relaxation. Or try an adjustable bed with power base for the ultimate sleep experience. Plus, take 4 years to pay. Find the mattress you'll love at Lebeda Mattress Factory's Love My Lebeda mattress sale.
New Sound is hosting a nationally known hearing aid expert. He will answer all hearing and tinnitus questions, offer free consultations, and special discounts. We give you options because you deserve the best.
Our local businesses are filled with hard-working, dedicated entrepreneurs who are Kansas proud. Consider shopping these Kansas proud businesses. Businesses like Essentia Salon and Spa, Doughboys Pizzeria, and Shorey Automotive.
Meaningful relationships built upon trust is a founding principle of the Trust Company. We help individuals and businesses create tailored financial plans and diversified investment strategies that adapt over time to your unique needs. Because we are independent, we can offer flexibility and creativity that many advisors and trust departments can't. If you aren't sure where to start or you're looking to make a fresh start, contact us today for a free consultation.
Jefferson's is the perfect spot to watch the game. Come try our new Loaded Macs, or pull up a seat at the bar and match our cold draft beer with our new Mac Burger. Find us at 29th and Wanamaker in Topeka or online at jeffersons.com.
Welcome back to K-Nation. Now, teammates called KU's Earl Bostic Jr. Grandpa last year in his 6th season with the Jayhawks, but now he's jumping to the league.
Yeah, K-Nation reporter Caroline Sorrow caught up with Bostic at KU's Pro Day. Viewer discretion is advised because he is a big man and he looks very large, but here's the full interview.
Now you're here, your home turf, competing in front of, NFL scouts. What does that mean to you?
It means a lot, putting on the show for my KU football team, and then just for the community, showing that chasing my dreams and all. It's been very surreal, being in this predicament, but I'm still chasing my goals to get to the NFL and playing for the NFL too.
Absolutely. And when you were a little kid, did you ever think that you would be out here in front of 30 plus NFL scouts? I mean, that's got to be a dream come true for you.
It's so surreal, being at a little kid, always seeing on TV, see all the pro days and stuff, seeing all the scouts and 32 different teams being out there from Bama, South Carolina and stuff like that, local teams that's been there. Now bringing it here, being here 2017, seeing just few scouts come around and all that, and then now seeing all 32 teams coming here, it's just unbelievable. But it's I'm so grateful to have that experience and having it in front of my old teammates and stuff too. Just truly grateful.
I'm sure, and I'm sure it's such a special time for you, but talk to me a little bit about how special it was for you over the past 2 seasons to compete for Coach Lance Leipold. I mean, do you feel like him and his crew really made a difference for you and helped you get to this point?
They tremendously put all their efforts into making me better as just a person and as a football player. His culture, his blueprint that he installed first day and stuff, tremendously helped this program out a lot, from everybody believing in it and stuff, from 2017, from 2020, it was, almost like I said, it was a judo ball. Now him coming in and changing the program around from making everybody believe and everybody believing in the culture and stuff, believing in the blueprint. Now everybody on together on one page, and then now we having the community behind us. Is truly grateful to have that.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And I know, everybody wants to talk about how many yards Devin Neal has and how well Luke Grimm did all season long, and of course Jalen Daniels, but that all boils down to what you guys do on the offensive line. So just talk to me a little bit about that and how hard you guys push to help them do what they can do best.
As an O-line, we were type 5, we always come in the game, we always brothers, we a fist, it can't be one finger out, one O-lineman doing something wrong, then all of us wrong. So we have to always be on one page with each other from each and every play. And we have to we have one person to have a bad play, we have to forget about it and move on to the next play, because we have a horrid tight game to play with. And with that mindset helped us out tremendously for the lowest fewest amount of sacks that we had on the season for 2 years straight. Helped out tremendously for the program.
Yeah, and how do you think that will prep you for playing at the next level, hopefully, maybe in a couple, months from now?
Oh, it helped me out tremendously, just knowing I have the confidence in playing at right and left tackle for them, and then last season before they came and stuff, now having 2 years of just confidence of just having a blind side, blind side of the O-line for the quarterback stuff, just protecting him on his blind side, having that confidence helped me out probably tremendously in the league.
Awesome. Got it. Well, thank you so much for joining me, Earl. Wishing you the best of luck.
Thank you. There you have it. More K-Nation still to come after the break. Brian Burton, he's a college basketball extraordinaire. He's joining the show. That's right after we take a quick time out.
Hear that? It's edge of your seat. He blows the body off the car. Entertainment at top speed. Camping World NHRA races where top drivers compete to be the best. But don't blink. And who's got the horsepower? It is going to be Justin Ashley. A dazzling Top Fuel final. You could miss it. It's the Menards NHRA Nationals presented by Pet Armor. August 11th through 13th at Heartland Motorsports Park in Topeka. Every ticket's a pit pass and kids 12 and under are free. Get tickets early and save at NHRA.com.
Growing up at A&H Farm is always an adventure. You'll just never know what you'll see next. Somebody needs to give Walter Emily a break.
Go cuddle my babies at A&H Farm in Manhattan, Kansas.
Sports!
We have everything
that you're looking for
at Play It Again Sports.
New and used sports and fitness equipment with used up to 50% off retail.
You can create your own discount by trading in and trading up. Sell us your gear and get cash on the spot, or even get store credit.
Play It Again Sports has something for every athlete. All seasons, all sports, on any budget. We're open every day in the Fairlawn Plaza Mall.
Game on!
Golden Corral on Southwest Wanamaker Road has been locally owned since 1999. Come join us in our newly remodeled dining room with updated decor, a stone fireplace, and an enhanced buffet area. Breakfast served Saturdays and Sundays. Pickup orders and catering available. Golden Corral in Topeka is looking for great service-minded people to fill positions with advancement opportunities. Serious applicants can walk in to complete an application.
Come on in and join us
at Golden Corral.
All right, well, K-State men's basketball season. Are you okay?
I thought we were going straight to the interview. I was eating. K-State men's basketball, they have their season coming to an end, but we're going to talk about Jerome Tang, and we talked with Brian Burton. Lady, take it away.
Thank you. Well, luckily for us, ESPN college basketball analyst Brian Burton cannot wait for the Cats to be back. He spent 20 years as a college coach, mostly in Texas, where most of Tang and his staff is from, so he got to be pretty close with the Tang gang. But we caught up with Burton a couple days ago to find out what he saw from the Wildcats this season.
All right, Brian, thanks so much for your time here. We really appreciate it. You spent some time with the K-State staff and the team throughout this season. First of all, let's start with that, I guess. What made you decide that you wanted to go visit these guys in Manhattan? You got to check out the Little Apple, and you had to see what they were about.
Yeah, I don't know if the Little Apple is actually a great name that you can really stand on. I like the, what is it, Man Happiness? I like that one a little bit better. Yeah, just longtime friends. Been a friend of Coach Tang's for a long time. So basketball is kind of small circles, right? So, you know, just knowing how much I've been rooting for Coach Tang anyway as a friend, and then to see him get this unbelievable dream opportunity, I just told my wife, we have to go this year. And the funny part about the story is normally Reem's like the main one making things happen. And I call and I text Reem, he's like, Bert, man, the tickets are sold out. Like, I don't know if we're going to be able to make it work. I'm like, Reem, it's not the answer I wanted. I'm going to have to talk to Coach Tang. I got a chance to come to the game, and it was even more than I expected. I mean, I knew Coach was going to look out and take after me or take care of me or whatever. I had no doubts. But, I mean, I was literally sitting almost on the bench myself. I had as good of a seat as you can have. He invited me to the locker room before the game, after the game. It was definitely exceeded expectations.
And what did you learn on your visit to Manhattan that you kind of noticed continued throughout the season for K-State?
K-State is a special place, and I think it's a special marriage because Coach Tang was the right leader to reignite that fan base that was already had a tradition, already had a lot of pride in their institution, but he was just the right person to really embrace them, and the embrace kind of went both ways. And obviously him dancing in the stands with the students and doing his thing with that. And special is a word that can be used a lot, but the environment and the culture that has been created, it's genuine. It's not just something that's for television. It's not just for the sound bites. You almost feel like you can't really win like this, can you? You can't win just loving people. And I think he's been very good for the game of basketball. And it's good for younger coaches to see. It's good for high school coaches to see. It's funny, I heard a lot of interviews talking about Love after Coach Tang was really kind of preaching that. I'm not saying it's because of him, but I do think those things carry a momentum, and the run that they had, and to be able to do it the way that they did it, I think it really stood out to people, and I think it has been something that's been contagious.
Brian, I'm curious for you. We hear Coach talk about his faith a lot, and I think to a lot of people, one thing that you mentioned there that stood out to me, you said it's genuine. How does that translate to success in basketball? I think he would tell you it's a key part of it. It's not just looking good for the cameras, but how does his faith and his love and his joy ultimately turn into wins, if we're being honest?
For me personally, I would just say first, I mean, love is the most powerful weapon we have, period. So I think he understands that because of his faith walk. He knows how powerful it is. Intentionality to speak it, and we're not just going to do it, but we're going to speak it and we're going to follow through. Coach Tang was always one of those guys as a younger assistant that you looked up to. He's walked that walk for a very long time, and I think he's just always been very genuine in that. Even how he hired, I think, says a lot about who he is too. And not just have a title, but I'm going to give you some, equity into this thing. And it's just cool to see when the guy gets his opportunity, he's actually still taking care of his people and walking the walk. And I think it just goes to show, who he really is.
And thinking ahead to next season, this past year, Tang was super aggressive in the transfer portal because he only had 2 players going into this year. Do you expect him to be as aggressive in the portal this year?
Yeah, I would expect Coach Tang to always have some of the best players that you can possibly have. I think an underrated part of Coach Tang and who he is not only the ability to recruit and get players to come, but his ability to evaluate. And same with the rest of his staff. If you look at even some of the guys at Baylor, the Jonathan Motley's who's in the NBA, I mean, some of those guys redshirted during their time at Baylor. They weren't necessarily the most celebrated guys. So I think there's development with Coach Tang. I think there's an ability to evaluate and the energy around the program that's a cool place to play. And if you think about the style of play, players want to play in that style of basketball. So I think it's going to be an attractive place for recruits to play as long as he's there for sure.
Yeah, that's great. You hit on some K-State buzzwords, crazy faith, and I think you hit on man happiness. Next, we just got to get you EMAW, and then we got to teach you how to Wabash Cannonball, and you'll fit right in.
I'm here for it. Let's go.
All right, Laney has suggested I keep my protein bar snacks to the commercial breaks, which we're going to take one right now so I can finish this thing.
Yeah, I'll stick around. There's more K-Nation coming up.
Come out to the biggest party in the heartland, the Country Stampede. Headliners include Hardy, Lee Rice, and Cody Johnson. July 13th through 15th. Tickets and camping on sale now at countrystampede.com. Are you a super fan? K-State Superstore has the largest assortment of licensed K-State apparel and souvenirs waiting for you. And with our Superfan Rewards program, you'll enjoy even more. Fans can experience K-State Superstore at the stadium, online 24/7 at kstatesuperstore.com, and our new flagship location at 520 McCall Road. K-State Superstore, official retail partner of K-State Athletics.
Hi, this is Voice of the Wildcats, Wyatt Thompson. If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide or experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, 988 provides direct connection to free, confidential, and compassionate support. When you call, text, or chat 988, you will be quickly connected to trained crisis counselors who will listen to your concerns, provide support, and connect you to additional resources if needed. For 24/7 non-judgmental support, just call, text, or chat 988.
Buying my glasses was so easy. Success Vision has the fastest service in town.
I got 2 pairs of no-line bifocals for only $79.
There's a doctor right next door. I got to choose from hundreds of frames. 2 pair for as low as $39.
Great prices and 1-hour service keep me coming back. Success Vision has it all.
2 pair for $39 in an hour for less. Come see us today, Success Vision Express.
Come out to the biggest party in the heartland, the Country Stampede. Headliners include Hardy, Lee Rice, and Cody Johnson. July 13th through 15th. Tickets and camping on sale now at countrystampede.com.
All right, Bill Self retirement rumors were a no-go, so we'll be back for year 21. But he's not even the longest tenured Jayhawk, if you can believe it.
Yeah.
He still has to beat out the volleyball coach, Ray Bouchard.
Yeah, and Bouchard has more fuel to beat out Self. He just signed a 3-year extension that will keep him around until 2025, and he just wrapped up his 25th year at the helm of KU volleyball. He's already second in all-time conference wins.
Yeah,
he can get up to first.
They've won a lot of games with him leading the charge. Very good volleyball coach, and exciting to see that he'll be sticking around.
Yeah.
And a new volleyball coach at K-State, so I mean, exciting time for volleyball and for basketball, and exciting time for K-Nation. It is.
Yeah, and I saw Coach Bouchard at the spring game, so he was in good spirits.
Jayhawks supporting Jayhawks. Hey, thanks for watching K-Nation. We'll see you next Sunday.
Have a good night.
I know what I'm going to continue, and that is we're going to enjoy, being here and enjoy all the small successes, and we're going to celebrate it.
I'm just excited to, get back to work, and I am working, and certainly look forward to everything moving forward.